this is Hot Indonesia, the home of free and fresh speech. I'm Dalton Tanonaka in Jakarta. Here is this week's HI Hot List. Fire fears, how we escaped a near tragedy in a towering inferno. Breaking bread, why the bakery business is rising high. And Lambo Dreams, how luxury cars drive help to the needy. Here beside me when she's not touring in America is Yeni Wahid, director of the Wahid Institute, daughter of the 4th president of Indonesia and karaoke organizer. Oh. Sarah is out this week. Sitting in for her is Lal De Silva, successful entrepreneur behind the Harvest pastry shops and Lamborghini lover. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Okay, hot topic number 1. Fire fears. It's every big city's nightmare. Fire breaks out on the upper floors of a high-rise office tower. It took 35 trucks, 200 firefighters, and 24 hours to fully put out this fire in the Wisma Kosgoro building in the Jakarta Business District. It was late evening when not many were still working, and thankfully, no one was killed and no reports of major injuries. You know, upon inspection the next day, investigators found safety problems, as you might expect, and I'm sorry to say. Among them, special elevators designed to bring firefighters up didn't work. The building's water pumps that help build pressure for the fire truck's own pumps were under repair, not in service. And the structure had previous warnings of deficiencies.
In 2008.
Yeah, exactly. So it could have been a major catastrophe. We've dodged the bullet on this one.
Yes, yes. And unfortunately, it's also quite a standard here for buildings like that, and not to meet the standard for safety.
Why is that?
I think lack of inspections, and also I suppose it's just not that there's no demand for the kind of services in buildings, especially for tenants. Tenants don't really look at it as big problems. People tend to just put these kind of issues, out of their minds until it happens.
Until it hits, and then it's sometimes. Thankfully, it wasn't too late in this case.
It's a wake-up call.
I think.
And I think we should do something about it. And the city needs to crack down on buildings that don't meet the standards of
But it should be also up to the employers, the ones who have responsible for a staff, to make sure that their people are safe, right, Lal? You employ a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. But the thing is, here the regulations is there, but I don't know how well it is implemented. And also, when something happens, even the firefighters to get there, it is almost impossible.
Because of the traffic.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a good thing that happened at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. We could have been a huge disaster here.
There are always worries in responding to a major incident of this kind because, as Yan, you said, are just lack of up to standards of international SOPs. But as office manager or an employer, do you have law, for example, procedures in place? Your people know what to do in case of a fire or an earthquake or a flood. I mean, you got to have your own
fire drill or
regularly we do a drill, and as well as the security is very well trained, because in case something happens, the losses are for us. It is, and we are also responsible as the owners. So it's important for us to safeguard ourselves and also the employees of the company, even though they are only our buildings are not tall.
But it's your own building.
So
you don't lease, right?
Some are leased for 10-15 years, but most of them are we own.
Right. I wonder if tenants should start putting more pressures on building owners and
the response.
True. I think most tenants is because it's very rare, things of this nature. So obviously you just go in there, with a minimum investment, and you set up a place. When something happens like this, only we all open our eyes.
Well, the government says it will step up inspection of all high-rise buildings in the capital to see if they meet standards, and that's a good thing because we avoided a tragedy. We avoided a tragedy this time, and this should be, like you said.
But I would have loved to see a lawsuit from the tenants of the buildings to the building owner.
Just, true,
just as a wake up call again, that you have rights, as a tenants to be given a good service, and because you pay lease, you pay money, and you expect you know, good SOPs.
Well, they're saying that they don't know the cause yet. They said it possibly an electrical. Yeah,
that's what they said.
No one cooking on that floor, so it probably was.
Well, there could be any causes, you know. Could be electricals, could be whatever, you know. Any disaster could happen, but. What do you do in response to the potential disasters?
Well, everyone's got to take responsibility for themselves first.
Yeah,
you start within your own office, then you build out your building, and then the city should be responsible for the public. So it works its way out, yeah?
Right.
I mean, simple things like have a fire extinguisher. How many offices, you know, have a working fire extinguisher in their office for a small thing?
But there are regulations actually. Quite often they come and check whether each floor, how many per square meter, how many fire extinguishers you have, and whether they are old. So the government bodies, they come and do that, yeah.
Right.
And how often do you think they do that?
They do regularly though.
Do they?
Yeah.
Is there any penalty if you don't meet these?
No, they don't. I think the most interest is for them to sell that. If it's old, they replace it.
Sell
mostly.
Sell products to the tenants.
Yeah, true.
Well, so that's one point. You help yourself by having a working fire. You can buy it from a store.
Yeah, from anywhere.
Place, right?
But with you know, like a sprinkle systems and all that, isn't that the responsibility of the building?
The building, right? And
high-rise building must have, definitely.
And also the lift. You don't purchase that at any store. It has to be provided by the building.
Yeah, well, if there's a fire, you're supposed to avoid the lifts, because they could go out.
Yeah.
But the
service one should be working for the firefighters.
Yes.
So again, the safety precautions always, if there's a fire or earthquake, avoid the lifts. Go down in the stairwells, because those are built to handle evacuation. So again, we missed, thankfully, something that could have been very bad and very fatal. And let's hope that this does serve to prepare us for the next one.
This is not just for high buildings, Dalton. It's also fire hydrants on the street.
And also personal homes. I mean, everywhere.
Yes.
True. Yeah.
Be ready. And
because every house is built right next to each other. So if your neighbor is having issue, it becomes your issue too.
Yeah.
Okay, good wake-up call. Hot Indo will continue shortly. Why everyone loves the smell of fresh baked bread. You're watching Hot Indonesia with Yenny, guest host Lal De Silva, and me. Here's hot topic number 2, breaking bread. You notice it in just about every mall, the delicious smell of fresh baked items such as bread, donuts, cakes, and others. It's not only a trend, but a huge business with industry growth projections at above 10% every year. The players are domestic and international brands, all hoping to win a piece of the financial pie. Now, you name the names: Bread Talk, Bread Life, Jayco, Tous Les Jours, Ropan, and of course, Harvest, all gaining customers as, I guess, the rising middle class in this country begins to enjoy the fruits of their labor.
I love your chocolate cake.
Is it?
Is that your
Divine,
favorite?
yes.
What is it more than just a trend? Is it a trend?
Actually, the bread is an inexpensive meal. You know, if you see any Western country, it is. If you go to a restaurant, sit down and have a big meal, it's costly, and plus the time as well. So you walk into any of the bread shops, you go there, have a cup of coffee with a piece of bread, it fills your stomach. And so I think when the society is advancing and plus the Western world, it is, you go to any city in London or in Europe or US, there are bread shops everywhere. They call cafes there.
Right.
So I think here in this country also.
It's practical as well. You can just carry it. You don't need a spoon. You don't need any
containers.
I mean, it's more than just something to fill your stomach, though. It's kind of a place to be, and it's bright lights.
It's the smell, the cinnamon. You know, you walk into a bread shop and then you smell the cinnamon.
But they all weren't like that. Now they're having the ovens right out front,
right at the front.
Get the smell. Yes. Yeah, it pervades the whole mall. I mean, Lal, you have now what, 30 Harvest shops?
35.
Oh, wow.
35, yeah.
Growing.
And yeah, it is growing. I mean, it seems consumers are attracted to the marketing as well, and the cachet of being in a Bread Talk or a Bread Life or a Harvest. It's kind of a fun place to be, to meet your friends, not just buy a piece of bread and eat it, right?
No, it's a lifestyle, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, earlier we had only few shops. Even the Harvest was open 2004.
Right.
But now you have so many different
Competition is
cafes.
fierce.
Yeah,
And you're still making money.
because the people who are, I mean, you know, earlier we were having food, our staple food is the rice, and we had only a meal period. But nowadays, you know, people go there, you see in the afternoon, even the pole, you go any time of the day, packed. Packed.
Yes.
And it is not only food, it's just being there and
Be seen.
yeah, exactly,
Yes.
it become a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You eat bread a lot, or I mean, we're not a bread eating country, but we're becoming.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
This is a rice eating.
Especially small kids now, they almost, you know, practically
It
they're
is.
eating more bread than the parents. Then, you know, my kids eat more bread, more accustomed to eating bread than eating other food. I mean, it becomes like basic food as well as rice.
And there are different varieties now. Now, from a business standpoint, Lal, you know, baked goods, fairly cheap to make. When we're talking wheat-based flour, it's not very expensive ingredients. So, and markups can be, I guess, pretty good. So there is a lot of money to be made in the business.
Yeah, definitely. But because of now the exchange rate has gone up to 12, 13,000. You know, most of it's not the flour and the sugar and the salt and filling, chocolates, sherries, jams,
Vanilla,
everything else we are
yeah.
imported, right?
I see.
Right.
So the cost has gone up quite
Because of the currency.
drastically. Yeah.
Is it possible to source more of the products from domestic?
So it's so funny, even the jams and all fruits, they bring from Asia, and then they bring it to France and other European countries, and they process there,
And re-export.
and then re-export.
Actually, so there is a business opportunity there.
Yeah, definitely.
For
Yeah, definitely.
any local producers who can produce up to
Yeah.
the standards of the.
But
know,
then part
local-
of it is
because
also
it's-
saying it came from France too, maybe.
But those
Not
days, yeah,
necessarily,
those
right?
days
Not
it was, you know, we could say we use all imported items, but not anymore.
They don't care.
No.
Some customers prefer to have more locally sourced
Yeah,
products,
definitely,
you know,
definitely.
like because of the global warming issues and all that. So
Yeah.
people want,
I just wonder if it tastes good, you know, and
you
it's
know,
fresh.
less energy to source
Yeah.
all this. As long as it's fresh, yes.
And also people are going away from these chemicals as well. So
Right,
they like
right.
real thing
Right.
without. Those days, Indonesia, what they like is soft bread. But I think more and more people get to know there's a certain, in order to make bread so soft, you can't just do it with the yeast and sugar and flour. You got to add certain chemicals to make it that way. Yeah, definitely.
Really?
So yeah, and then you have gas issues, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
So yeah, that is true.
And the gluten-free sort of market is also growing.
Yeah, it's
right?
big. It's big.
Is it big? Okay.
Because of we breathe, you know, polluted air. We eat the wrong food, so we all are having certain allergy issues, right?
Yeah, right.
Gluten is one of the major problem for many people. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
Hey, Lal, real quickly, what was the secret to, or the formula for your success in getting Harvest going to such a big?
What happened was, I have seen you at the Four Seasons before, right? And when I left 2004, and
Yeah, he was a pastry
pastry
chef
chef
at a hotel,
Four
a five-star
Seasons.
hotel.
Yeah, that's where I seen you.
Yeah.
Used to come and sit down there when your dad was president at that time.
Right.
And having a coffee. Yeah. So what happened was, when I left at that time, 2002 actually, first opened a cheesecake factory, and then I opened a Harvest. There was a market. There was nothing in between, either five-star hotels or local bakeries. So nothing in between. So I feel that vacuum.
Right.
And of course, why would you go to a hotel and pay, you say at that time, 120,000
Yes.
rupiah when you can buy for 30% cheaper, same product?
With the same quality.
Yeah, same quality.
And good packaging as well.
Yeah,
I think that's one
exactly.
of the
Yeah,
attractions of,
yeah.
And it wasn't always easy. I know we talked about.
Wasn't easy,
yeah.
you know. When I first started, it was 23 employees. Now we have 2,500 employees.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, if somebody tells you everything was rosy, I knew where I was going. It's all, it's not
Well,
like that.
you're a role model for many entrepreneurs, and I personally follow his story, so that's why I want to hear it. Hey, are there any new industry trends coming up? I'm going to see like square donuts or like meat-filled. I mean, what?
You know, US did this called cronuts became a,
Cronuts,
you know, it's a
cronuts.
huge success, right?
And explain
cross-
what a cronut is.
Croissant and donut.
Yeah, actually, it's a croissant dough. You cut it like a round
So
and
lighter, it's lighter.
Yeah, no, it's a croissant dough, the dough of the croissant. And that means you put the butter and then you roll 6 times.
Okay.
With 6 times 2 is 12. And then you cut it like a round donut, take out the middle, and you keep it outside until it dresses, and then you fry. So
Have you
it's
had that?
No, it's too high calorie.
very high calorie because it has a butter inside.
It's so darn
I've
good.
always had this, weight problems.
Should have brought some
weight
cronuts.
issues, so-
Mom.
Yeah, well,
You do bake yourself
Yeah, I do,
for
I
your
do.
customers?
no, I don't bake anymore.
You should do that as like a special event kind of thing, where
but
people can buy with, a special price. It would be an honor for
my
people.
energy is going now to develop new concepts. We have restaurants also. We have a Negev, we have a Balboni,
Yeah, I've
we
been to
have
one of his restaurants.
Chateau Blanc.
We should go to Amber one night.
And Amber, the new restaurant, you should come. Very beautiful
Very
restaurant.
nice. Yeah, because
Okay.
we need to talk some things over.
Right,
Okay.
okay.
More Hot Indo is coming up. Revving it up for charity. You're watching Hot Indonesia from Jakarta. Here's hot topic number 3, Lambo Dreams. Now, the stars of the black tie event were not the pop singers or magazine cover socialites. In the spotlight were these luxury vehicles. It was the anniversary dinner of the Lamborghini Club Indonesia, where proud owners shared their good fortunes with 3 charity foundations. Tables of 8 went for 50 million rupiah. That's nearly $500 a seat. But everyone went home happy because it was for a good cause. Now, Lal, you are the chairman of the club?
The president of the club.
President of the club. About how much was the financial goal that you hope to contribute to these 3 charities?
About 3 billion. So 1 billion was gone for a cost of the event.
Yeah. Well, about $300,000.
Yeah,
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. And currently economic situation is not very good here. So a lot of people who are supposed to be rich, and they because of the energy prices are low. So in that class, they are not doing that well. So even then, we managed to have $300,000. That's a lot of money.
Besides Yenny's Lamborghini, how many Lamborghinis are there?
Yeah,
in
she
Indonesia?
has a purple one, right?
Just a purple one.
The pink seat.
With a pink dot.
Yeah.
Also.
About how many are there in Indonesia? Are there a lot?
About 150 cars.
Really?
Oh, wow.
And they start.
That's a lot.
They started
This is
200,000 maybe. or 2
apart
billion.
from the ones that are being seized by the anti-corruption body. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's a different story. Right?
Yeah, I don't have any of those members in the club. No, officially, because if you buy a Lamborghini car from the dealership, you become a member of the thing called LCI, Lamborghini Club Indonesia. So we have 150 of them. But tapi import umum, that means you just import by yourself through dealer. There are so many. I think those are the cars that are having issues. They don't know tax paid, most of them.
I see. That's why. Yeah. Okay. Now, I gotta ask this. Are there any feelings of not guilt, but feelings of perhaps overindulgence of having a luxury vehicle like this, which you worked hard for,
Right.
and nobody's saying that, in a developing country?
Where 3/4 of the people still live on $2
Yeah.
a day. Okay.
It's so funny. When you ask Lamborghini CEOs, they have a couple of times been here. Their largest the consumer of Lamborghini is Thailand. Thailand is not far from here.
Right.
And the number 2 is China, and number 3 is Indonesia.
Wow.
And you see, I think, even though that's 13 billion, 12 billion. We could buy a man on the street could buy 5 houses.
At least.
Yeah, but obviously.
I suppose this is the same case of women having
Hermes,
Hermes bag that cost like $500,000.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I think for these ladies, it's a status symbol. So what is it about Lamborghini owners? What does it signify to you? I mean, is there a certain thing that is attached?
This is not a car. It's a lifestyle.
Okay.
It's not about a car. If you're going to go fast, you can buy Japanese car, modify the engine, can go even equally, fast as Lambo.
Right.
It's the people who owning. Usually we gather, help each other. It's a community thing. It's a lifestyle.
Right. You know what they say, right, about men with fast cars?
No,
and
what they say?
Okay, I'm not telling you.
She comes up with some
Man with big cars.
Yeah, you see?
You know?
You see what she's implying?
No. Just joking, just pulling your
I have a
leg.
big car, you have a big car.
Do you have a big
I have
car or a small car?
Yeah, it's like
A
a
very big
van,
car,
like
very
a
big
When you
family
have a
van.
big car, then you have a wallet, I
What
suppose.
did she mean? Well, what did she say? But, to end this, I mean, having the resources.
Cars and shoes size. Oh, anyway.
And you said for your famous saying was for men height matters, for women size matters, right? That's what you said. That's your famous.
Well,
okay.
we were talking about women in heels and how men are supposed to help. Women in heels get
High
more
heels.
help. In
More
high
heels,
heels,
that's a different
get more
story,
help
yeah.
from men.
Yeah, true. Very,
Right?
very
So,
true.
yeah, I suppose for men, height matters. Then for
Okay,
women,
last point. Having the
Maybe the height.
resources, because you
Well, height
work hard to
matters.
buy a Lamborghini, means you have the resources to help others in need, and that's
Right.
what this event is doing.
Definitely.
That's what you're doing.
So what happened was that when they asked me to become a Lamborghini president, and I didn't want to just be another figurehead, enjoy, go around raving the cars and showing people who we are. I thought that brand, it's a beautiful brand, could be used for a better cause. So this first event was done in order to help Cancer Foundation, which was headed by Ibu.
This is the first time it was a benefit.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's why it was a big success.
Yeah, Ibu Veronica, the wife is the head.
Ah, right,
And
right,
she was there.
right.
Yeah.
And we're doing a special on it, actually.
Yeah,
And we're
yeah,
going to
yeah.
run a special. You'll see it here on the Indonesia channel. So
Right.
yeah, it was a great event. Okay, feedback time now. Your turn to sound off here. Teja posted this on our Facebook page after our discussion on Java Jazz artists. How can you guys not know who Chakra Khan is? Well, we know a lot, but not everything and everyone. But from now on, I won't forget pop singer Chakra Khan, and I like his song Harus Terpisah. Is that right? Okay. If you have any feedback on what you've heard or would like to suggest a topic for us to tackle, please email us at hotindo@theindonesiachannel.com or comment through our Indonesia channel, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram pages. Final words, Lal.
Okay, I was not prepared for this, but I want to say thank you so much for having me here. And when you see Lamborghini on the road, we
Be gentle.
there we are done our first event. We raised a lot of money for people who are kids who are poor, to educate them, and also the people who are sick to find a cure. So I want to say thank you so much for my members, and as well as giving me the opportunity to come here and share my thoughts. Thank you.
Lal. Very nice, very nice. First guest who's ever thanked us. That's very nice. Okay, final word, Yenny.
Okay, my mom's birthday falls on the March 8th, and which is also the same day of Women's International Day. And given her works in women's issues, and the fact that she's such a staunch activist on women's equality, gender equality issues, it feels almost like serendipitous. The two dates coincides, but the dates coincides. But anyway, I just want to wish her happy birthday, mommy, and I just want to thank you for being such a wonderful mother, and I love you so much.
That's great. Happy birthday, Mom. We always talk about your dad, but your mom's there all the time, too. Okay, my final words. If I'm in a room with 20 naked people and I'm fully clothed, the one mosquito will find me and bite me. I don't know what it is, but it always happens.
So you were in a
I wish I was in a room with naked.
Okay, all right.
I'm never sick. My point is, I was home.
Anyone over 40?
No. I was home in bed for a day this past week. I didn't have dengue fever like our Jakarta governor, but I always say health is the most important thing, so get well fast, Governor Ahok. Okay, see, I worked that all in there somehow with naked people. That's Hot Indonesia for this week with Yenny and Lal and Dalton Tanonaka.
Are you implying
See you again next week.
that